Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are after market close on Tuesday, September 12th. We're going to take a look at T2 Biosystems today. So we're going to start off here on the Webull chart on the intraday, see how our levels held up, and then zoom out to the daily, and then we'll flip over to the Think or Swim study and see how things are situated there and call it a video. So T2, as I'm sure you know by now, up over 14% today, so a really good push. Interestingly enough, on at least the 10-minute chart here, there is no gap from that motion. It was just, this giant 8.5% candle here. At about 8:10 this morning, and then tried to push to that 3309 level that we had, couldn't quite make it. Candle bodies back to back got caught under this 3137 about to the penny, it looks like, and shrugged through a level. And what do we often say when something totally skips a level, like it did here? It skipped this 3037 level. It often goes back sooner than later to try to retest it. Not always, but it's common enough that it's at least something to look for a motion toward. So came through and then started, working its way through additional levels. And, in my opinion, these levels held really, really well. I know that they're pennies and fractions of pennies, but percentage-wise, these are decent gains or losses in both directions. So in any case, it came back and finally tested later in the day that 3037 level, shrugged it off, but seemed to catch support at this 2933 level going into close. Now we'll see if that holds or how that sort of takes shape throughout the day. Also interestingly, there was decent volume here on this big up candle, decent volume here as it opened, and then a couple of solid volumes, but not really anything coming back close to that throughout most of the day. That attempt back at 3037 was really the additional sort of uptick later in the day. So just something to keep in mind there, volume-wise, kind of interesting. What was the overall volume today? 64 million. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But let's take a look at the daily, see if anything is sort of taking shape there, how that's looking. So still caught underneath this uptrend, former uptrend support that it lost and spent a few days now outside of. I think last time we were talking about if it was going to put in a motion similar to this where it fell through. See this green candle, this green candle? We were trying to see if it would put in a motion similar to that where it hopped back in because it had a similar sort of gap down, right, from this candle to this candle. And then you look at a mirror image, this candle to this candle, and then this big green and this big green. Now, the subsequent days didn't mirror this setup, obviously, but wicking really, really close. Not quite. There's a smidge of a space there, it seems, but very, very close to wicking off of that. But also on the daily here, with this move up today, it didn't leave a gap. So interesting there. I mean, it's just continuing such a wild ride. Minus 14% yesterday, plus 14% today, 11.5 a few days ago, 14-ish a few days ago. So it's just it's price action chaos. So let's flip over to Think or Swim. Now keep in mind, we looked at the 10-minute as we were looking at the intraday on T2, and then we were just looking at that former uptrend support, now appearing to maybe be some resistance on the daily. This is on the hour. Okay, so taking a look at how things played out on the hour, see TTM squeeze indicator was triggering here for a few candles, fired, and when it did, pretty solid call out there because it was a big move down. Now that said, you could equally say, I think, that it was kind of a misfire or a faux signal because, like we said, it's just having these wild fluctuations day to day as it is. So it may not have really called it out as grandly as it seems. Now, situated itself here on the lower bound of the channel as it had that big push this morning and shrugged off the upper bound of the channel. And then basically all that it did throughout the rest of the day in this view is it just sort of held support above the midline. That midline sitting at 284 on the channel. So to the extent to which it can put together back-to-back bullish days, this may be the best opportunity that it's had in a few days, because it had a big push up, shrugged off the upper bound, but held the mid-range, and then even built off the mid-range to find support over this uptrend cloud later on in the day, with gaining bullish momentum into close. So if that continues to hold, then we may see at least something different than this sort of like down day, up day, down day, bigger down day, up day. So we may have, maybe some back-to-back up days coming based on this study. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's not a prediction. It's not a crystal ball. It's not a given. It's just that's what this motion could allow for. But of course, we have to just wait and see how the price action comes in and how it starts to take shape. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is off to a good start. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.